Good to have y'all. Good to have y'all. You turkeys come on in here. The goon is in the house. Gizmo is resting. So I thought that I would use this time to jump on here. I can't really see that good. My eyes, it was hard for me to focus. Can't really see the comments like that. I don't know. My eye, my. Anyway, a lot has going on, and one of the comments, something I wanted to spend some time on recently was a conversation that the Breakfast Club had. Conversation that the Breakfast Club had. They were having a conversation about, is it racist to allow your child, or some woman they had on there, she got one in here. How you doing? How you doing? Shout out where you from. Like, appreciate you for being in here. Hit that like button for me, please. I'm having a comment. This is a show about the peace. Got two of y'all in here. Hit the like button. Thank y'all. The goon is appreciative of you. Y'all got to excuse me. I can't really see that good. Had a little bit of an accident. But I didn't get a chance to finish my live yesterday. But something came across my mental. Been terrible. Excuse me. Something came across and I knew I had to discuss it. There was this conversation on the Breakfast Club. Would you allow your daughter? They asked Charlamagne, would he allow his daughter to marry a white woman? I guess because something had happened, and some black woman, she was married to a white man, and so what was his thoughts on that? Very, very good, very, very good topic. As you all know, I have a daughter. Her mother is white. And so people have asked me this previously. I think I mentioned it previously. But however, I will say this unequivocally to let it be known, just in case some people don't understand it. Because the question was whether or not is it racist, right? So first of all, let's define some words. Let's take a little bit of time to take some understanding of what words mean. Racism, more than anything, is about access and power. I've mentioned that previously, and I'm going to say that again. It's about access and power, those that have it and those that don't have it. Racism was never an issue until white people, European people made it so. It was never an issue. They made it so. So, yes, race matters in this country. Race matters in this world. It defines a lot of your access and what you're able to do versus not able to do, what you're able to say versus not able to say, who you can go around. There's nothing more polarizing than race. There's absolutely nothing that is more that has more effect on what your life will or won't be. Now, is that the absolute common denominator? No. There's this thing called you. There's this thing called what's inside of you. You ultimately are going to define what your reality looks like. However, that reality is shaped by the color of your skin. Let's not try to act like these things don't matter. That being said, we talk about the word racism or racist. Who is responsible or who has access? We all know that white people in this country have predominantly the wealth, they have the access, they have the power. They are the ones who shape our reality. I'll give y'all an example. I'm not defined. I have to adhere to YouTube guidelines in order to be on YouTube, right? If I don't adhere to their guidelines, then I'm not able to make these lives, right? Because they have certain rules in place. Who makes the rules? YouTube makes the rules. Do I own YouTube? Do anybody look like me on YouTube? Absolutely not, right? So so I am beholden to YouTube's rules because YouTube decides what I can and cannot say in order to use their platform. And I think that that's fair because in the end, they are the ones who have it. What I don't like is when people try to act like black people should not want that for themselves, right? So with that being said, let me get back on topic because y'all know how I tend to go on a tangent and a rant. I've made it very clear to both of I'll make it clear to Gizmo, and I made it clear to my first daughter, you cannot come home with a white man. That is absolutely unacceptable. I will not accept it. I will not allow it. And let me say this. When I say I will not allow it, clearly I could not stop it if that's what she chose to do. She just said, you know what, Daddy, I'm doing this, right? Well, then that's that. But here's my response to that. You know what I mean? You don't have access to me. You don't have access to. I want my daughters to be with black men. I want my daughters to be for black men. I want my daughters to understand that it is important for them to to have black men in their lives. There's nothing more important and more beautiful, I think, in this planet, on this planet, especially in this country specifically, than black love, because of how our families were systemically torn apart. Okay, so I think we need to understand that that because sometimes we forget that there were black women who would have children, and then those children were then sold into slavery. They would never see those children again. And they had absolutely no right to their own children that they bore. And a father would have to see his seed taken away from him, right? And so, for me, and this is just me personally, and like I said, I can't speak for the entire black community, because, I'm gonna tell y'all something. We got a lot of cornballs in our community. We got a lot of people, what I'm saying, who I won't sit down and do lives with. This is why y'all don't see me on any platform. This is why y'all don't see me do anything with anybody, because there's so many people that I just don't respect. And so therefore, I'm not gonna do anything for money. I'm not gonna do anything for likes and clicks or anything that to get hot for a moment. I'm not putting on Charleston White, you know what I'm saying, or any of these other cornballs, and Anton Daniels, where you dog your own people in order to try to get on for a moment, but then in the end you fade away. I'm never going to be cut like that. That's never something that I'm going to be a part of. That's never something that I'm going to do personally, right? So with that being said, I've already made it clear, and I'll tell you this: for you black parents that say that, I just want my child to find love, and that as if they can't find it in their own community, I think that you do them a disservice, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. No other race says this. It's funny how we'll say that it's okay. We'll say that, we'll have a problem with us saying it. However, when other races in their own community say it's unacceptable, no, we understand their points of views, but yet for us, we feel bad. And that's because truth be told, we're very benevolent people. And I shout out to my man Harvey. He said that. You know what I'm saying? Boss man said it. He's right. The problem with that is that when you have this sense of being righteous, and you have this moral compass that you're operating on, yet the world isn't operating like this, then you automatically operating at a disadvantage. I'll give you all an example. If we were all playing a poker game, right? We're all sitting at the table playing poker, right? And let's just say maybe 5 of us, or however many of us, are at a poker table. Everybody's cheating, dealing under the table. 3-finger drag with the thumb on top, as my daddy would say. Shout out to him. The 3-finger drag with the thumb on top. And they're doing all of this. They're passing cards back. One person, you think you got a good hand. You got a full house. Somebody got 4 of a kind. You got 4 of a kind. Somebody has a full house. You got a full house. Somebody got excuse me. I haven't played in a while. I used to play when I was in prison. I stopped playing. When somebody has a full house, you have a full house. They have 4 of a kind. They have 4 of a kind. You have 4 of a kind. They have a straight flush. You know what I'm saying? You got a straight flush. They got a royal flush. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you win at a table like that? How can you win at a table like that? And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I just think black people play by too many rules. I think black people play and box themselves in through guilt and religion and some sort of benevolence of unto ourselves, some sort of rules that only we play by, but yet nobody else, the rest of the world, plays by its own rules, right? I just don't see how you can ever win, because in the end, I'm about results, right? You show me how your mindset has gotten the results when you can look at it tangibly and say, yeah, these are the results that I was looking for, and you got them by trying to live to a standard that no one else lives to. And so, I'm gonna tell y'all something. They had a conversation. There were people saying, well, that's borderline racist and this, that, and the third. You don't even know what racism means. Like that's the funny part about this country now. The word has been switched and modified so much that you don't know what racism really truly is anymore, because they watered the word down so much. Like you do, like it's like everybody's reaching for for some sort of meaning when they neglect the true origin of the meaning. Um, could somebody be prejudicial? Yes. Could black people be prejudiced? Could you have prejudice against other races? That just means you prefer your own. Like that's not a bad thing. Every other race of people prefer their own people. That's not a terrible thing, right? That is absolutely not a terrible thing. And so to think that I would want my daughters and I would be acceptable, I would find it acceptable. That's just what I wouldn't find them. I couldn't find them in an LGBT relationship. I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting my daughters coming home with women. I'm not accepting that. We obviously know if I had a son, I wouldn't accept it. No, I'm not accepting that. I'm not like this ain't that. This ain't you can do whatever you want to do out here in the world and think that there's no consequences for your decisions. And think that oh, you can just come back here and get the love and support of your father, you know what I mean, and the home, but yet you out there doing whatever you want to do with the lessons that I've given you. What was the point in me teaching you all of these years? What was the point in me giving you this game? What was the point in me giving you all of what I've given you? What was the point of it, right? What was the point of me making all of these decisions for you to help you become the best you could be, and yet you want to go out here in this world and you do whatever you decide, and you basically spit in my face. You know what I'm saying? By telling me, yes, you were raised by me, which is, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, there's no stronger black man on this planet than me. I think I'm gonna toot my own horn and say that because I'm a warrior. I've been through it all. I've seen it all. And I've showed y'all a lot of my life, from the shelter, from from the streets to, you know what I mean, to give my daughter an opportunity, and I left it all. I rolled down here in the U-Haul with her in the front seat with no shocks, barely shocks, no heat, at 4 months old, just to be able to give her an opportunity at life that she wouldn't have had otherwise, things that I've experienced. All in all, no one can tell me anything. Like nobody has the ability. This is why I can talk like this with such bravado and stuff like that, because I know what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? To get to this point. And so nobody can negate that. Nobody can come on here and expose me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like, who do you think you're talking to? You know what I'm saying? So there is no stronger black man than me, right? And so I can speak to that. So you telling me you were raised by me, you were taught by me, because I believe that the Quran says, raise them up in the way they should go, and they shall not depart. And if you are wise, you do not produce a fool. So if I believe all of that, and I truly digest it, and I put this information in you, and then what do? You go out and be with So what you're saying is your father or the likeness of me is not good enough? You mean to tell me that out of a planet of 6 billion people, is that the exact number? Somebody help me out. I think it's 6 billion people. You couldn't find one quality black man? And you're going to tell me that I'm supposed to just, excuse me, my hand. That's just pain. Excuse me. You're going to tell me that I'm just supposed to just accept that. You're going to tell me that I have to just eat that. And because you love him, that is supposed to trump being, I don't want no white man sitting at my table, not and have my daughter. Now, here's what's funny. I know white people that I truly, truly really like and respect. Hey, what up, the unknown? How you doing? Thank you for being in here. Shout out to you, unknown. Thank you for dropping me a comment. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for being here. You know what I'm saying? I have very dear friends to me who are white. One of my good friends when I was in West Virginia, a dude named Chris Byers. You know what I'm saying? He got a wife named Misty Byers. They're right across the street from me, and they got a son, Chris Jr. Some of the best people that I've ever met. Great people. It was Chris is like a Viking. I used to always walk Chris about maybe 6'7", 6'8". You know what I'm saying? A Viking of a man. You know what I mean? And he would always come out. I used to tease like, Chris, I've never seen you with a pants on, bro. Like you've never wore pants. You know what I'm saying? And I like Chris. He's very strong and a very, very masculine man and a very, very good man and a very dear friend of mine. And if he ever called me and needed me, I'm there. Right? Same with his son, Chris Jr. Quality men. And they're very good friends of mine. And so I don't run from none of that. Would I ever want my daughter to be with a white man still? Absolutely not. Would I be accepting of that? No. And should they be accepting of my daughter? No. I don't know what they will because we hadn't spoken about that. However, that's just not what I want, right? So, that being said, I can say that. I can say that and stand on that. I'm not going to run from who I am in order to appease people. Because if you know anything about the history of black people in this country, you would be able to respect that. Like even if you didn't necessarily agree with it, you could say, you know what? I feel you, dog. You know what I'm saying? I feel. So this is what I hate about, and I'm gonna tell you this. This is what I really, really hate. I think black people have done more, at least as of recently, to hold their own selves back than white people have done, right? Because now what it is they put such constraints on us. We don't even know how to get free. We don't even know how to free ourselves. That's the trick. That's the Jedi mind trick now that even though the chains are off physically, they're still on mentally. And so we don't even know how to get free. We don't even know how to free ourselves. That has been the beauty, I think, of this system that has been set up in this country. We don't even know how to get free. And you have so many blacks that will do whatever they can in order to keep themselves locked in order to keep themselves. And here's the thing, right? When you ask these guys, they get on these platforms, right? And they never have any pushback, not any real. You only have people who agree with their position. I remember I was on this dude, Chad Jackson. I remember I jumped in his comments, right? Shout out to that girl, Figgy. That girl, Figgy, put me up on, I think his name was Chad Jackson or whatever, Chad Johnson Jackson, whatever. Anyway, everybody on the panel has a like mindset, right? I'm in the comments. I'm the only one that's challenging anything. Now I said, well, listen, well, let me come up. Like, let me come up there and let me say something. They won't let me up, right? You won't let me up. And then, but everybody's making fun of me on the panel. But yet, when I said, hey, let me come up, let me say what I have to say. I'm man enough to hear you. Be man enough to hear me. That's when all of a sudden it shuts down, right? And so I just think it's really cowardice, not just him, but any of these blacks who push. If you're not talking about self-reliance, self-determination, and ownership, and together, you're not talking about nothing to me. Like everything you have to say. Everything you have to say, and if your life isn't built around those principles, then you're not talking about nothing. Like, I don't care what you got to say because I know what you is. You just another one of these coward blacks who bend and shuffle, who I used to call them neo-colonialized Negroes. You know, you want these neo-colonialized Negroes who are afraid to speak out for your people. You're afraid to stand for your people. You're afraid to, and I'm gonna tell you something. Nobody likes you. Nobody respects a man who's scared to take a stance. You won't ever see Awesome straddle the fence. Book it. Book it. You won't ever see me straddle the fence. You may not agree with me. You may not like it. But what you won't see me do is play this sort of hot potato game, this pass the buck game of fear and oh, well, somebody, you know what I mean? I'm scared to piss off my subscribers. Oh, I'm scared to piss off white people. Oh, I'm scared to piss off black people. I don't give a blank about none of that. It's one thing you better know about me. I'm going to speak the truth. It doesn't matter to me what it looks like. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all want to know something about me? This is some of like now that maybe I subtract about. That's one of my favorite movies, The Predator. Right? You know what I'm saying? I still love that movie today. Muhammad Ali is to me. It's such an inspiration to black men. What did that say? I can't read it. Let me see. It says, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now, and you live the rest of your life a champion. This is the mindset of, that's one of my favorite movie there, The Godfather. That is by far to me my favorite movie ever. And that is something that's Conan in y'all. That's Malcolm X down there, right? So these are, you know what I'm saying? So just to give y'all something there, like these are, like these, I'm in the masculine men. I'm not one of these guys who's going to kowtow, and you know what I'm saying, and be scared to stand, and be scared to make a choice. I don't play them games, right? I don't move like that. I'm not built like that, right? And so whether you like it or didn't like it, at least I took a position. And I'll tell you something. I was talking. Somebody shout out to my baby. I was telling her this. I can literally. Some people listen. Do y'all want to know one of the most like here's the thing that I've come to know because I've been in prison with these guys. We had an Aryan Nation when I was in a mission. Some of the most respectful people, right? I didn't have a problem with them having the position that they had. I know that your race is superior to mine, right? I know that. There was no disrespect. I knew what you felt and thought about black people. I know what I feel and think about you. We don't have to, and we can sit down and have a conversation, a respectful one, because we know if it's not centered around respect, then that leads to other things, right? That could be deadly, right? So we can have those conversations as long as they're done in a respectful manner. I actually have respect for a man who will look me in the eye and tell me what he thinks, right? You can do it respectfully, but I don't like you. I don't like you because you're black. I don't like the color of your skin. I don't like the way you move. I don't like what you think. I think you're lazy. Whatever the circumstance may be. I have respect for a man who can do that. Because then I can sit down at the same table and say, hey, well, this is why you're wrong, right? And this is what you are, right? And then we can sit down and have a meal. And you know, the Quran says, a kind word to an angry man is like water cast upon a flame. Ye shall abath his heat, and from an enemy ye shall make a friend. So maybe that's even on the table. But what's never on the table is me running from the smoke. That's never on the table, right? I don't bend for nobody. I don't shuck and jive. I don't roll like that. And so to get back on topic, absolutely no, it's unacceptable. And any of you black men who really want, and I'm gonna tell you something else too. That go for my son too. When I do have one, I don't want you coming home with a white woman. I don't. I want you to find a black woman, period. And I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that. Now, would I say that it's the very same for my daughter? The very exact same? No, I would probably say it. Put it like this: she get 100% of the smoke. He gets about maybe 75. I'm not gonna be happy. I'm going to let that be known. But I think there's a little slightly, if I'm just being honest, I think there's a little bit more to who are you? Country. I don't know. You're not talking to me, I don't think. Oh, I'm in Detroit. Well, I'm not in Detroit. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in the United States. I don't know. Sad, what's going on? But so therein lies that. I think that all people should want to preserve their own race, their own culture, their own identity. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that every race has the ability. I finally got a like 25 minutes in. Thank you very much. This from the man with a child with a white woman. Now, boss, hey, there you go. I missed you. How you doing? Yes, and I've said that, non-boss. And listen, you're right. You are absolutely right. Yes, I do. And listen, and I'm gonna tell you something, right? You may think it's hypocritical. You may even be right. Like here's the thing. I'm so real now, but that's why you like me. Because you know I'm real enough to admit you may even be right. Be that as it may, I'm still standing on it. Right? I still want my daughters. I was in West Virginia, I was moving in, I was doing allegedly my thing, and I was around black women. That was the majority of who I saw. That's that. But you got to keep in mind though, now my daughter, my seed. This is why our genes are so powerful because in the end, my seed still made her be black. She's still black, right? And so, does that mean that her mother or her, her birth mother is not white? No, that's definitely to be acknowledged. But she's a black woman, and so yes, I still want my daughter to be with a black man. See, but you know what that's called, non-black? That's called real. You see what I'm saying? This is why you always pop up and you always have respect for me. At least I believe that because you always pop up, you always shoot me a comment. Sometimes we may disagree. I think we may agree here. I think you think I'm a hypocrite in that regard. And once again, I'm real enough to say that you do right. I can't really see. Yeah, sometimes it get a little blurry on me. My vision been a little blurry recently. But yes, I do see that, and you could be 100% right. But with that being said, that's still my position, right? And I'm letting you know that yes, I did it. She's a black woman. She's being raised as a black woman. Don't come in my house with no other man that don't look like me. That's that. I told my other daughter that. Guess what she did? She married a black man. She listened. And to not listen would be to have consequences. Now, boss, can you at least acknowledge the fact that I'm real in that regard? Can you at least acknowledge that? At least because you always jump on me, and I'm okay with that. Because sometimes I do. You give me my what's the word I'm looking for? Because it's been a while since I've been on. You don't have any problem keeping checks and balances, right? And I think that that's fair. I think that this is why I say I'm the realest guy on YouTube. That's why anybody listening to anybody else is just like once again because none of these guys are phonies. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna say anything. That's what I thank you for, non-boss. That's real. See, at least thank you. And that's right there is all I ever ask. See, here's the thing. I'll never ask you to agree with me. I'll never ask you to assume my position. I'm not asking for anybody to say that I'm right. I'm saying that I'm real. I'm going to give you the real on Gizmo and the Goon. And I'm telling you, if my daughters walk in my house with a white man, I'm cutting your ass off. That's what I'm telling you. That's what it is. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I don't care what the internet say. I don't care what your mama say, what mine say. Had she been here, none of that matter to me. I'm telling you what I told you. These are the rules. You can be, I got a rule, and now, Bob, you go like this. I'm telling my daughter this. You can be whatever you want to be, as long as you're what I want you to be. Let me say that again. You can be whatever you want to be, as long as you're what I want you to be. What does that mean? That means out of these, what's the word I'm looking for? Examples, or not word I'm looking for. Out of these select group, out of this group, pick. This is the group you can pick from. Pick whatever you want. Pick from this group. You want to be a veterinarian. You want to be a gymnast. You want to be a pianist. You want to be a violinist. You want to be a soccer player. You want to be a tennis player. Fine. And I'm, what I'm saying, that's just a doctor, attorney. Can't be a basketball player. I don't want my daughter playing basketball. I don't like it. I think a lot of women is brutish. I think a lot of the women is the LGBT community has taken over. I don't want my daughter being a part of that. I don't want my daughter, but I don't like it. I think it's too masculine. I don't like it. Now, some people may not like that. Guess what? I don't care, right? I want my daughter playing a feminine sport. I want my daughter playing A feminist, no, she can't play football. Or what if she want to play football? No, my daughter can't play football. No, my daughter cannot box. Daddy do all the fighting around. I don't want my daughter getting punched in the face. Now, when you grown and you wanna, if you grown, you out of the house, you wanna get punched in the face, fine. Will I come down there and see you get your little pretty face? You know what I'm saying? That's if that's really what you chose. Yeah. But in the end, I'm raising you to be a feminine. I'm raising you to be a lady, right? I'm not raising you to be one of these women who want to be brutish and who want to. I want my daughter to sit up and get her nails done. You know what I'm saying? Who want to sit back and you know what I mean? Get her feet that like there's a refinement that I'm trying, even though I may not have it myself. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, that's the goal, is to be able to put her in a position where she can be refined and she can have the access to those types of things. And that's, you know what I'm saying? Understand the difference between a fork and a salad fork, and which I don't even use forks. My girl gets on me all the time, but I eat shit with my hands. Y'all saw me eat with my, y'all, man, listen. It is a shame sometimes how barbaric. I've come a long way. I think I've gotten better because at least, I've been filmed and it's like, I'm like, damn, you look like a real idiot. Like, so there's that, and I'm trying to. Now I'm about. Did you give me another comment? I can't really see. Okay. My vision ain't been kind of blurry, man. But listen, I need to take some. I need to take some medicine because I'm in the pain. But listen, let me tell y'all something. Well, pain to a certain degree. Some, what I consider pain. You turkeys would consider deathbed. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm super tough. But I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Like you have to have rules in the community, and I think that when you don't have rules is when things go awry in your world, and you don't have any structure. I think that every community has rules for what they believe. Boss, yeah, that's facts. Yeah, I see them red things. They look like heart. No, the heart. Yeah, I did. That gets a plus in the middle. Yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah, my eyes, I can't see. It's difficult for me to even focus. But I just really want you all to understand, like, more than anything, because I'm gonna have to bring this to a close because Gizmo, you know what I'm saying, gonna get up. Thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate you. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me how many people come in live. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm always put on, you know what I'm saying, whoever here. And I thank y'all for being here because in the end, if it wasn't for y'all, there wouldn't be no me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I never run from I never run from nothing. I never run from no uncomfortable topics. You know what I'm saying? And so even if you don't agree, I think that one thing I know about black people, my people specific, somebody gave me another like, thank you. One thing I know about black people, even the hardest or the most sinister of us have respect for somebody that's being honest, that's being, you know what I mean, that's trying to be upright. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I've always been the best example of that, because clearly I've done a lot of things that I'm not necessarily proud of. And, you know, that's just, you know, the hand I was dealt. And so now I'm trying to play better cards and things of that nature. I get that. But let me tell y'all something. When it comes to certain principles, when it comes to standing on things that matter, ain't nobody going to do it like me. Like you're going to see a lot of guys who are afraid, man. You're going to see a lot of guys who are afraid. Who you're not gonna hear no Charleston White stuff. You're not gonna see about me telling on my friends. You're not gonna see me putting up no cake. 1 minute I'm talking out both sides of my neck in terms of I'm black and I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm proud, I love to be black, but then I'm putting racist stuff on my head, and you know what I mean, and talking about I hate niggas and this, that, you know what I mean, all to get clicks and get you know what I mean, to get people to, I'm not a caricature. I think that that's the number one thing that I really truly want to express here. This is my real life. Like, this is who I really truly am. If you met me in person, you would know that. And anybody that follows me, that does know me in life, knows this is me. Knows these are the same conversations that I have when it's just me. Like, you know what I'm saying, when the camera's not off. You know what I'm saying? These are not this, I'm not a phony, fictitious person. You know what I'm saying? And so in the end, I think that's that that's a person that you should want. At least, well, I don't know, put it like this. I don't know what y'all want, right? I can't say what you should or shouldn't want. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'd rather somebody look me in the eye and tell me who they are as opposed to trying to swindle me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't want. You know what I'm saying? From a personal standpoint. Tell me who you are, tell me what you stand for, and let me decide whether or not if I can get behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like, and so in that regard, I got that for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't pick and choose, and I'm not afraid to be who God want me to be. You know what I'm saying? And whatever He got for me, if it's okay with Him, then it's okay with me. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's okay with the Creator, then it's okay with me. Because I don't love nothing more than I love my Creator. Because if in the end He the one who made me, and so whatever He made me, and He the one gave me. He the one gives me rights. This country doesn't give me rights. God gave me rights as a man. I don't care what the Constitution. Yes, I live in America. You know what I'm saying? But I'm governed by the rules of the Creator. My Creator governs my movement. Not this country. This country. It wasn't even designed with me in mind. It wasn't designed with anybody that looked like me in mind. You know what I'm saying? In order to be successful. They needed a free labor force. And that's exactly what they got in order to build it. The only reason this country is as rich as it is because it had 250 years worth of free labor. What did you think was gonna happen? What did you think? What did y'all think that all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, that America is rich because, you know what I'm saying, it did something so benevolent and so correct? No, America is rich because it had a free labor force. It never had to pay its workers. And you got 250 years worth of free labor, and then another 100 years of keeping them under systemically down. You know what I'm saying? And not allowing, and then when they did try to rise, you did everything you could to burn it down. You did everything you could to destroy their communities. So this notion that why would I as a black man subscribe to that? This country is great in talk. This country has a great reputation in terms of it says it, you know, the land of the free, the light, you know what I'm saying, home of the brave, and where they put on the money, you know what I'm saying? What's these sayings that they put on these dollar bills? I got one in my pocket, I ain't got many. But what is this? What is this? In God we trust, and no. In this America trust. In this America trust. This is what matters in America. Okay? Nothing else truly matters. That and race. That is what matters in America. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, and this is why I'll never sell my soul for it. I'll never put myself in a position that I'm gonna jeopardize my daughter and my name. I'm not gonna put myself in no position that's gonna make me look like some kind of cornball just to get some money or some likes or some views or some attention. Never, because nothing to me is more important than masculinity. There's nothing more important to me than my father's name. How could any money suffice that if I can't look myself in the mirror? What am I then if I cannot look myself in the mirror? What am I? What am I if I'm not that? If I'm not a man who's gonna stand for something? If you know what I'm saying? Like what does that make me then? Because when the money gone, what I got? So that's the message to all you cornball podcasters out there who like to dog your own women, who spend a lot of time on making these videos about black women getting jammed up, and you know what I mean, and black women going, yes, we have our issues in this community. But if you did it, here's the thing that I don't like. You act like it's just black women who get caught stealing. You act like it's just black women who ratchet. If you had a platform where you were doing both, you really wouldn't get much of a pushback from me. You guys know who you are. You know what I'm saying? You guys know who you are, who specifically lean in towards the detriment of black women. And I'm gonna tell y'all something too. You're not doing the community no favors, because what happens is these images continuously go out, and you have these young guys in the podcast, these young guys jumping in the comments, and they're thinking that something is wrong. They're thinking that something is missing and derelict in their own people. When in truth, it's an American issue. It's not an issue that's specific to black women. Stop trying to dog your own people in order to pull yourself up. You's a coward, man, and I have no respect. That's why I don't do anybody's podcast. I'm not jumping on that train. I'm not dogging black women to get on. I'm a dog. Listen, I said this in the podcast, and I can say this now, because Gizmo sleep. I'm a dog any bitch that got it coming. What I'm not gonna do is dog black women to you know what I'm saying, and try to make it seem like another race of women is better. I'm never doing that. Period. For nobody. You know what I'm saying? There's greatness. You know, there's greatness there, and in the end, will a lot of women probably die alone? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's on the table, because I think they've been sold a hill of beans and they done actually bought it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody done sold them a Brooklyn brick. You know who? You know what I'm saying? They done bought a Brooklyn brick. You know what I'm saying? And so they thought that something was for sale that wasn't. You know, so in the end, that's that. But however, that's something that they got to deal with. But there's a lot of quality black women out here, and to say that, to run from that, you know what I'm saying, and try to act like, you know, that's not on the table, is truly derelict. And that's why I say I have no respect for guys who going to drag their own people, and nobody else respects you either. I want to say that 100%. You think that these people are going to respect you when you dog your own people? You're 100% wrong. They look at you and they laugh at you, right? And they say to themselves, if he doing that to his own people, what will he do to us? Keep that in mind. Listen, man, I got to go, man. Y'all, I'm in so much pain. I can't really see, and it's my hand. I braved through this, and I really need to go take care of myself. But listen, man, y'all hit the like, comment, subscribe. I gave y'all 40-something minutes. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope I said something enlightful. Drop me a comment. You know what I'm saying? I'll respond to you. Y'all know I'm cut. I ain't never, you know what I'm saying, gonna change. That's what it is. Awesome City, you know. So be it. The Giz is asleep, if anybody was wondering. So that's why I had to go ahead and get this in. Y'all take care. Peace and love. I'll be back probably tonight. I think I might do another one tonight. Yeah, I said I was gonna be back at 6. Yeah, I'm gonna do something at 6. I think.